Fair use. This is from Jiddu Krishnamurti.
Suffering is like a jewel, great jewel. If you have a great jewel in your hand, you look at it, you marvel at it, you see the beauty of it, how it is set in platinum, gold, silver, with such a delicacy, such refinement, with such beauty. You hold it and look. You never want to run away from it. In the same way, if one can hold that thing, sorrow, not get morbid, not run away from it, just to hold it and look at it.
Carl Jung said, the years of suffering in retrospect are the most beautiful. There's kind of a joy after the fact that you were strong enough to make it through. You look at that jewel in your hand of everything you went through. It's kind of like going through the fire and coming out pure gold. You've burnt off, you went through the crucible, you burnt off all the bad parts of yourself, and all that's left is that pure gold. Here's the full video, fair use.
But we have never paused or inquired if there is an end to sorrow. And instead of asking, demanding that question, we have said, someone else will suffer for us. As the Christians do. And the Asiatics, including primarily the Indians, this is just part of karma. You know the Sanskrit word, which means karma, the root meaning of that word is to act. What you sow, you reap. Whether in this life or in the next life, that's their idea. What you sow, what you are now, you will be next life, perhaps slightly modified, next life. So we have taken comfort. We have taken comfort in theories, in speculations, in faith, in next life, and so on, so on. But we have never faced the thing. We have never stayed with the thing. We never said, I suffer. I'll live with it and find out why I suffer. Not escape from it. Not run away. Not seeking any form of comfort.
They say the bison does this when a storm is coming. They don't run away from the storm. They actually turn around and run into the storm. Because if they run from the cloud will continue to fall them. But by facing their fear, they actually get through the storm faster because the storm will pass over them versus if they run away from the storm will just continue to follow them. And so suffering's the same. I think that's the point he's making here. If you run from it, you actually prolong it.
That means suffering is like a jewel, great jewel. If you have a great jewel in your hand, you look at it, you marvel at it, you see the beauty of it, how it is set in platinum, gold, silver, with such a delicacy, such refinement, with such beauty. You hold it and look. You never want to run away from it. In the same way, if one can hold that thing, sorrow, not get morbid, not run away from it, just to hold it and look at it. Not as an observer looking at it. Some years ago, a friend had a most extraordinary jewel. It was one of the most beautiful jewels. And he said, hold it for a minute. I held it. The speaker held it and looked at it. It was really the most extraordinary thing, very ancient, very rich and valuable, and priceless.
Suffering, I think, is truly priceless because those lessons you learned about yourself, about how much strength you have, that eternal summer inside your own heart, no matter if it's winter outside, going through that suffering, you know nothing can hurt you ever again. And you've earned that jewel to look at. You get to look at the past and see just how strong you were. You thought you couldn't make it, but you're still standing. It's like a warrior. It's a warrior of the spirit.
And that was something outside of you. That jewel is not part of you. It's there, like that watch, like that microphone, like that camera. But sorrow is you. You are not separate from sorrow. Right? You are sorrow. But we say, how am I to be free of it? Therefore, moment you say, how am I to be free of it, you separate yourself from the fact that you are sorrow. You understand this? When you get angry or greedy, you are greedy, aren't you? You are not separate from greed. You are greed. But say, I must get rid of greed, or I must hold greed, or it's so on. You understand? Moment you separate from yourself from the feeling, from the pain, from anxiety, then that separation causes conflict.
This is the shadow work, the Jungian idea that the negative subconscious we have, those bad tendencies, they're still us. Just like the bison, you have to face the worst part of yourself. You can't say, I want to get rid of the greed. Like you say, it's part of us, it's part of the human experience. You have to transcend it. It has to still be part of you, but you get outside the reptile brain of stimulus response and you can stand above your base desires, not because they're separate, but because you can be the witness and you can see beyond that instinct, those animal instincts.
Right? So sorrow is you. Your self-pity, your sense of loss, your sense of loneliness, your sense of failure, your sense of remorse, regret, guilt, and all the rest of it. The sense of great loss of someone whom you have so-called loved. And when we separate that sorrow from you, thinking you are different from sorrow, then you want to escape from it, seek comfort from it. But when you are that, because you are that, then you hold it without any movement away from it. Hold it without any thought interfering with it. You're just watching. Then you will say, if you give your whole attention to it, the sorrow ends, never to return again. With the ending of sorrow, there is passion, there is energy, incalculable energy, which is passion. Lust is a passing thing to be repeated. But passion can never be repeated. It's there because there is the ending of sorrow. And most of us have not this passion because most of us are caught in pleasure. So, with the ending of sorrow, there is love. If you are suffering, not only physically, but inwardly more, how can you love another? You can have pity, you can have sympathy, you can be kind, generous, but that's not love. But love includes all that.
These moments will pass like clouds in the sky. The sun is always there. So whether it's lust, greed, any sort of negative emotion, and I found this in my personal life, if you can get through that storm once, you can do it again. And you might screw up every so often, but once you know you can pass that storm, once you're like that bison that gets to the other side the first time, it's so much easier to go from zero to one, to go from a nothing to something. That's the hardest part with spiritual practice. It's like the veteran element to go, it's like a soldier. You know, when they're green, they haven't fought in a war before, they've never had their life on the line, they kind of freeze up. You know, the greenhorns usually die faster. But if you make it through the veteran, you've been through one battle, everything gets easier. And I feel like, especially for men, the lust element, if you can beat that, you can just beat about anything. I think the Hindus talk a lot that for men in particular, it's gold in women. If you can get past those two, the greed and the lust, you can kind of accomplish anything. And again, this is Jiddu Krishnamurti. You can find lots of stuff on YouTube, plenty of books on him as well. And I think Joe Rogan says something. The more someone looks like a wizard, the less you should trust them in spiritual practice. So I do like that he kind of just dresses like a normal guy. That I always really value that you're not special, you're humble.